going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. I'm going to sneeze. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to sneeze. Okay. Good day, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought, number 1742. I seek to inspire you to have a great day with morsels of a thought of wisdom from other people. I hope that we bring information that comprises wisdom. In other words, knowing the right things to do. Because knowing the right thing to do is a form of wisdom, and doing it is called a form of virtue. So, right now, we are learning about TR, The Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, or Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating. Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, now with their daughters too. Wait before sleeping with a guy is rule number 27. I'm actually looking for what their daughters say, but they don't rule it, they don't weigh in on this particular part. So we will look. No, we saw that one already. Okay. Wait before sleeping with a guy. We live in a sex crazed society where songs about one night stands and S&M play all day long, and TV shows portray young women streaming dressed up like hookers carrying condoms in their Chanel bags. Teen pregnancy is always on the news in some capacity, and 19-year-olds have sex tapes. It's a sex culture, all right. But the fact that other women are buying into it now more than ever doesn't mean you should. You are a rules girl. You have self esteem, standards, and boundaries. You have high self esteem, standards, and boundaries. You are your higher self, not your lower self. So when is it sensible for a rules girl to have sex? Your first time is a big deal, so you shouldn't rush to get it over with or be with the wrong guy. Ideally, you should be in some sort of a relationship with a guy who is into you, who cares about you, who is kind to you, and who wants to cuddle afterward, not someone who treats you like a notch on his belt and can't get away fast enough. You don't want your first time to be unpleasant or something you long to forget. We think you should be at least 18 and wait as long as you can, ideally a year into the relationship. If you are older, you should still wait at least 3 months or 12 consecutive dates, a lot of time spent together. In any case, make sure you trust him and feel comfortable with him. A rules girl makes a guy wait to help him fall in love with her soul and her essence, not just her body. The longer you wait to have sex, the more he can court you, plan romantic things together, and dream about you. Guys will treat you better and respect you more if you don't give sex away too soon. As we keep saying over and over again, guys love a challenge and don't appreciate anything that comes too easily, especially sex. Women who take off their clothes on date one or even date two or three are not acting hard to get. They are the opposite of creatures unlike any other CUAO. These girls run the risk of getting dumped or becoming the late night booty call girl because it's obvious how easily they'll give it up. It used to be that HIV, sexually transmitted diseases, and getting pregnant were the only risks for sexually active women. These are still dangers you'll face, but now there are a whole other host of other pitfalls waiting for women who succumb too soon. A guy can humiliate you by planting cameras in the room and posting your dalliance online or emailing it to everyone. He can tell everyone about your night together and watch how quickly the rumor mill turns with text messages and Twitter. Sleeping or X, sleeping with a guy you just met is a really bad idea. If he doesn't know you well, he probably doesn't care about you and won't think twice about hurting you. Conversely, the more he gets to know you, the safer he will make you feel. When you do decide you want to sleep with a guy, first ask yourself if you truly believe he will call or text you afterward. It's a terrible idea to hook up with someone you don't think you'll hear from again. Even if you think you, quote, don't care, end quote, that's not necessarily how you'll feel the next morning or next week. Women tell us all the time that they, quote, don't care, end quote, if the guy just wanted sex and nothing more. They say things like, quote, we locked eyes and we knew it was going to happen. We knew we just had to do it. End quote. They convince themselves that they are capable of feeling like a man when it comes to sex, but the next morning they are compulsively checking their phones and are completely heartbroken when they don't hear from the guy. Even Sex and the City's Samantha Jones fell for a guy or two. It's always better to wait until you have an emotional connection before a physical one so you don't get hurt. Women want to bond with a guy, snuggle, and hear such words as like and love and exclusive. They want security and a sense of togetherness. For guys, sex can be more mechanical. When it's over, they often get up, get dressed, and go to work, no problem. No matter what you anticipate you'll feel, it's always the same. Most women are hardwired to desire emotional intimacy and invariably end up hurt when they act under any other pretense. Also crucial, ensure that you have the right motives. Ensure that you have the right motives. Don't use sex to trap a guy into a relationship. Don't act lovey-dovey as he is putting on his socks and say, "So when am I going to hear from you?" Or text him later, "Where's this relationship going now that we have slept together?" Sex is not an excuse to have a relationship talk or all-night instant messaging chat. He doesn't owe you anything emotionally just because you've had sex. Going into the act with this mindset is manipulative and will usually backfire. Sometimes a woman's obvious expectations or demands that sex bring more closeness and familiarity can send a guy running. Now, some women say they would never sleep with a guy on the first date, but are open to everything else. They let guys put handcuffs on them and have oral sex and think that doesn't count, but it does. When we say make a guy wait, we mean no more than casual kissing on the first date. On the second date, you can French kiss if he wants to. On the third or fourth date, you can make out a little more. By the time he wants to sleep with you, if you feel it's not the right time yet, you can absolutely say, "I'd like to, but I'm not ready." If he gets angry or threatens to stop seeing you, then he's not the guy for you. Don't let any man pressure you into sleeping with him too soon. Too soon. Other women carry this quote, make him wait for sex, end quote, rule to the extreme. We don't suggest you necessarily make a man wait until you are married. Of course, if you are religious or have other beliefs that support abstinence, we respect that. It is important not to be a tease. If you are not planning to sleep with him for 6 months or a year for whatever reason, it's only fair to tell him so he can decide whether he wants to wait. Sometimes making a guy wait too long can attract guys who are not really into sex at all. He may be relieved because he has a low sex drive or prefers porn to intimacy or is not, or just not that into you. How will you know if you are sexually compatible if you wait until you are married? Sex is an important part of any relationship. We just believe it should be approached with caution. But here's the tricky part of this rule. Let's say you're more into sex than the guy is. You feel he is going too slowly, only kissing you on the fifth date, and you want to speed things up. Should you make a move? Absolutely not. We are reading Not Your Mother's Rules by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider, now with their daughters too. The New Secrets for Dating. We hope to get wisdom out of this, and wisdom is knowledge from other people's life experiential advice. So take advantage of what you can get from other people's experiential advice. Okay. And also, if you are ready to get a divorce and you talk to a woman who is divorced, you're probably going to get told to get a divorce. Best you talk to somebody who's done both. Stayed married when whatever, and then divorced whenever. Maybe somebody who's been married 2 times. I'm going off on a tangent because we want to get knowledge that comprises wisdom, the knowledge of what to do and pitfalls to avoid. And that way we know what to commit to acts of virtue. Okay, and now we're talking about our virtue here. Ha ha ha. Should you make a move if you're more into the sex than the guy is? Absolutely not. The authors say if you initiate anything physical, you are creating a situation in which you are the aggressor, which might make you self conscious in other parts of the relationship. It's hard to feel desired and secure when you are doing most of or all the work. Sex should be treated like any other part of your relationship. He should make the first move and make you feel wanted. If he is not sexually aggressive enough for you, then maybe he is not the right guy for you. Conversely, withholding sex to punish a guy is not good either. When something in the relationship is not going their way, some women's impulse is to get even by denying a guy sex. We are totally against that tactic. Once you've had sex with a guy, there is no going back. The tone has been set. The best way to deal with a bump in the relationship is to see him less, pull back, and be suddenly busy. The rules are more emotional than physical. He needs to feel that you are slipping away and that he may lose you. So see him less and don't always answer his messages, but if you do see him, you should continue to sleep with him if you have already. Otherwise, he will think you are spiteful. No matter when you decide you're ready to have sex with a guy, be smart and practice it safely. Don't let a guy convince you in the heat of the moment that it's okay not to use a condom, quote, just this once. End quote. If you are on birth control and in a committed, exclusive relationship, ask him to get tested for STDs. You can even ask to see the doctor's report, as some guys will lie about being tested. If you have any doubts whatsoever, use a condom. Rules girls, play it safe and take care of themselves. Okay, so this part is the okay. Next is don't stand next to a man first. Hold on a second. Where is it? Oh, shit. Oh, don't sit or stand next to a guy first or flirt with him first. Now, we're talking a little bit about abstinence and we're talking a little bit about being flirty. Okay. Now, while this is rule number 5. While talking to or texting a guy first is clearly aggressive behavior and not the rules, you might be wondering if sitting next to a guy you like in class or standing next to a guy at a bar or party or flirting with him is okay. Isn't innocently sitting or standing or walking over to his area or making flirtatious eye contact relatively benign? No, it shows much more interest than you think. Such flirtatious behavior is a futile way of trying to get him to notice you and a complete waste of time. Remember, the rules are not about making anything happen with a guy because he has to notice you first, or you will most likely get hurt. In consultations, many women have said to us that they didn't realize that flirting with a guy first was the crux of their problem. They spent years in therapy talking about the guy and never understood why he sometimes behaved badly and eventually ended the relationship. We helped them see it was because they started the relationship. A light bulb goes off and they can trace the problem back to the first moment they met the guy and flirted with him. If you ask someone to switch seats with you on a train so you can sit next to a guy you think is cute, you are wasting your time. You will never know if he would have switched seats to sit next to you, and you may be initiating a relationship that was never meant to be. A guy knows within minutes or even seconds of boarding a train or walking into a party who he wants to sit next to or approach and doesn't need any help figuring it out. So, even if you sit next to him or make eye contact from across the aisle, he will still track down the girl he thinks is pretty or is his type. Women create situations in which they can subtly flirt. They reach for the same item at the grocery store, they wait next to him for a drink at the bar, they purposely brush up against him at a crowded party, or they take the elevator going down instead of up. You can stand next to him all day at the gym, pretending to be waiting for the elliptical machine, and you can put a force field around him, but he will eventually find the girl he likes and walk over to her, chat her up, grab her phone, and even call himself from it so he has her number for sure. Don't even bother. If you see a guy you like, wait for him to walk over to you. That's the only way it works with men. The New Secrets for Dating, Not Your Mother's Rules, The New Secrets for Dating by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. These are not your mother's rules. They are rules for the younger crowd than I. I am in my late 50s. And anyway, the authors say, you are probably wondering how he will know you like him if you don't sit or stand next to him or make eye contact or flash a smile. Many women ask us about flirting techniques and other ways to get a guy to notice them. We don't believe in flirting or staring because it is a dead giveaway of interest, the opposite of being a challenge. A guy knows you are interested if you give him your number when he asks for it, and if you say yes when he asks you out. Really, guys don't need you to tap them on the shoulder or even glance in their direction. You might, like, the guy I dated for many years that I didn't know about the rules about before. He tapped me on the shoulder from behind at a dance party. So I knew he liked me. And the weird thing is that a few years later, I met him again somewhere at a on a cruise on the bay kind of party. And I was about to say to him, "You look familiar." And when I said, "You look familiar," he interrupted me with, "Yeah," like he was about to talk to me first anyway. So you kind of get the idea he really likes you, right? That's the way you know they like you, is if they talk to you first. Yay! Okay, the authors continue. You might argue, but what if he is quiet? Can I stand next to him if he is a more passive type? No! We have found that even a shy guy will ask a mutual friend to introduce him to the cute girl over there, quote, end quote. He will point to her and say, "That's the one." And then his friend will bring them together. Or a shy guy will pretend he likes the pretzels that she is standing next to at a party. There was a guy that did that too at a different party. I was sneakily eating every single pretzel, not pretzel, but it was some kind of a appetizer. And I was sneakily eating every single one. And then what he did was, right as he walked away, he pushed the plate toward me, sort of like, "I know you like these, you little girl." And if he notices you, okay, hold on. He will figure out a way to meet her, even if he has to trip her to get her attention. Oh gosh. Wow. That's the shy guy. Okay. The authors continue. Not only should you refrain from doing anything flirty to get his attention, but you should actually do the complete opposite and pretend not to notice him at all. You should look the other way or walk the other way because sometimes it's hard to disguise the fact that you think he is good looking. It may be written all over your face. And if he notices you staring at him, he will know that you like him. He might typecast you as, quote, easy, end quote, and lose interest. We are not making this up. We have heard countless stories about women who stood next to guys at a bar all night, hoping that it would make them take notice. Sometimes such behavior leads to a mercy date or two, but the guy texts only to hook up. Or he texts to talk about another woman who won't go out with him or who cheated on him. He wants the girl who doesn't give him the time of day. Invariably, standing next to a guy at a bar or party makes you his consolation prize, his free therapist, not his girlfriend. Sometimes flirting first does lead to a longer relationship, but there is usually some fundamental problem. There are fights or miscommunication or intimacy issues. Lexi, 26, told us she would never approach a guy at a bar, but asked what was so wrong with, quote, standing next to him and swaying to the music, end quote, to get his attention. Lexi had seen her Matt Damon look or type and thought her dance moves would catch his eye. She danced around him for 15 minutes while he gazed around the room. He finally looked her way and asked her if she wanted a drink. She said sure triumphantly. She was proud of herself for not speaking to him first and confident that he was interested. He talked about his ex-girlfriend the whole night and then asked for her number and said he would text her soon, but he didn't, and she wanted to know why not. We explained that he was never interested in the first place, just bored. We told Lexi that swaying next to him created a conversation that would never have happened otherwise, that got her hopes up and that wasted her time. He spoke to her the way you speak to someone you sit next to on a plane or in a doctor's waiting room, simply out of politeness. So, lest you think you can get into a guy's heart by invading his space, we don't invade men's spaces. Rules girls do not invade men's spaces. He should be trying to invade your space, is what it is, okay? So, lest you think you can get into a guy's heart by invading his space, think again. If you have to even walk over to his area, forget it. He is supposed to notice you and find you on his own. The guy who likes you will ask if the seat next to you is taken or ask the other guy to move. He will be obvious about it and you won't have to wonder if you're reading him right. He will sit or stand next to you, pretend he drinks coffee so he can wait online near you at Starbucks and get your name and number. So think twice before, quote, innocently, end quote, sitting or standing next to a guy in class or flirting with a guy at a business networking seminar or museum. Rules girls wait for guys to sit and stand next to them. They don't make anything happen or waste time, and neither should you. If you want to be a rules girl, we're all, rules girls are all having a lot of hard work to do the rules right. We have to encourage each other. You have to get a rules buddy. You have to call me. You have to DM me. You have to call your rules buddy friend and keep each other in line. Like I asked my friend, how come you didn't do this? And then she asked me, how come you didn't do that? Or she was more gentle with me than I am with her, and she said, you didn't do such and such, did you? Or the leader in you came out, didn't it? Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, we all try to be in my case, an 80s kid who went to college in the 80s and would have gone grad school in the 90s or something. So, I'm in my late 50s and I say, um, I I have a style that is much more like Rachel Maddow than like June Cleaver. Okay. And nowadays there are more role models than I can count, and I don't know any of them. Honestly, I think of myself as a rules buddy. I read the rules. I love Ellen and Sherrie. They are such cool mavens of genius types that know how to, they are married rules women. So go and get a consultation with the authors when you are not sure of what you are doing, or go get a certified rules coach. They are certified through courses that I think the courses are almost $2,000 now, something like that. I have not taken the rules coaching course because I want to stay a buddy for a while because I have coaches. Okay, I'll talk to you again later. I hope you're having a great day. Old Kinderhook. Bye bye.